walked between the building and that dumpster, walked around the back side of the building in the grass, and apparently she followed him back there, and that's where the shots were fired.
What's up, everybody? Sorry I am just a minute late, but I had some stuff come up real quick, but you're gonna have to give me another minute. I'm not quite set up yet, but we'll be there. Or I'm here, so yeah. So Michelle Hemlock Hex White. Those are some good questions, and that's what we're going to discuss tonight. The only reason SA and DV are used on YouTube is so videos aren't taken down due to strict community guidelines. Never heard these abbreviations used elsewhere outside of the interwebs. Yep, you're right. Me neither. And when should you start talking to your kids about their own space being theirs and to tell others to bugger off if they're violent, if they violate that space? Literally from when kids start talking. Hey, you're good. That's pretty much what we're going to discuss tonight. And Opus Angels, how are you? How are you? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. What, man? Usually the laptop usually gives me enough light. But thank you, man. All right, anyway. I am here. Let's have a discussion, shall we? Doing good. That's great. I am glad that you are here. Opus Angel, I am glad you are here. Let's post these up, get these out there. Yes. I am good. I'm glad you're doing good. So much drama on the streets right now. I am not shocked that people are watching that instead of talking about what is real important. Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but my wife and I were having this same discussion earlier today about some things. Appropriate time to talk to your kids. I get asked a lot by quite a few people. Oop. Ding, dinner's done. I've been asked by quite a few people, like, when is a good time to talk to your children about sexual abuse and the importance of knowing what private areas are. And for people that are like set on having a time frame, I just I read that and wow, good conversation. right? Right. So anyway, here we are. So, my wife and I was discussing this earlier because I'm always trying to figure out ways to, answer everybody's questions that they got, and always researching new stuff when it comes to this topic. And yes, it's not a very popular topic, and it really needs to have more awareness out there, for sure. So that's what we do here. Over here at Get to Know, we do not talk about other creators. We don't care who's here as long as they are not a pedophile, as long as they do not support pedophilia. Everybody's welcome here. Well, I got 3 personals anyway that aren't welcome here, regardless of who they are. So besides that, this is an open community. This is an open community, and everybody's welcome. As long as you are here for the purpose of this channel and the reasons of this channel, and that is to stand tough on pedophilia and to hopefully stomp it out. That's what our goals are on a legal standpoint. Not this channel is not so much about awareness as it is dedicated to getting laws changed so the penalties meet the crime. My own personal opinion is the fact that child molestation is worse than murder in my eyes, and it should be handled as so. All too often, people are getting slaps on the hand when they violate a child. So we want to get laws changed so they fit the penalty even more. Life sentences in most cases, and in the other cases, more than likely just the death penalty. That's crazy you said that, Opus Angel. Opus Angel says, I think each child is different. I do too. But I think I've came up with relatively the perfect time frame and age to start teaching your children about private areas and sexual abuse. Yeah, he loved to snuggle. He loves to snuggle. He gets on. He gets on my ass all the time. It's horrible. He's not even my dog, but he thinks he belongs to me. It's crazy. So I just kind of came up with this idea today, or this answer today, and this is going to be Get to Know's official statement for future reference on the question of when is a good time to start teaching your kids about private areas and sexual abuse. And my answer to that question, hang on, do you think the issue arising with the gender topic is causing a problem? I don't know. I'm sure that it's creating a lot of confusion in a lot of people. I believe it could play an effect, part of child abuse, sexual abuse. I think it could. Why don't you grab that link and come on up here with me, Opa? Let's have this discussion. So my official answer Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now.
Okay.
I can
No,
now.
the
There
reason
we go.
why I brought that up, the reason why I brought that up is because
I can now.
it is an issue regarding my granddaughter right now in middle school.
Okay.
So this is something that she came to me with because she was asking me kind of how she should deal with it because she has a lot of transgender people that are not only her friends, but other classmates. Now, she was taught to be very accepting of people. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that's good. I mean, to be accepting of people and their choices that they make about their own personal self, we should all be open to, you know?
Okay, so
Accepting of people and their choices that they make about their own personal self, we should all be open to, you know?
yeah, and I love the fact that she doesn't judge anyone and she kind of takes up for what she calls the underdog in everything.
Do you have another device on, sweetie?
But at the same time, she asked me about, all right, somehow I'm getting feedback from behind on something. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on either. I've only got one device on.
So she deals with the fact that when she goes into the girls' locker room, they do go into the locker room, but the difference is they're
What in the hell is going on?
wait, let me check something. Okay, is that better?
I think so.
Wait, let me check something. Do you want me to go out and come back
Nope.
in?
Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that.
Okay, is that better?
I think so.
Okay. Do you want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that.
Okay.
Let's see. Hey, I actually got a notification that you're backstage this time.
Is that better?
I think so. We'll see.
Hey, I actually got a notification that you're backstage
Nope,
this time.
it's not.
All right, let me.
When you're
Wait.
not on here, are you getting feedback from me, or like you hearing it double
Yeah,
back
it's
from me?
like double backing for some strange reason. Boy, stop.
All right. Well, whatever. Whatever. It is what it is, I guess. I'm not too worried
Yeah,
about
now I'm like really behind. Hold on a second. Okay, is that better?
it. You know, you actually sound better. No offense.
Okay, I fixed it.
There we go.
I think I fixed it because I had a thing running. I didn't even realize it. I clicked out. Okay. So going back to the beginning, my granddaughter is in middle school. So she, like I said, is kind of like friends with everybody. It doesn't make a difference who they are. As long as they're nice people, she's happy, they're happy, everything is good.
Right.
So she did ask me about an issue that came up, and that's a lot of her friends are transgender, and a lot of people that she goes to school with are transgender. So when she goes into the locker room for PE and such like that, everybody goes in, but some of her friends go down to the bathroom to change.
Okay.
So she was kind of asking me, how does she relate to something like that? Because I mean, for her, she knows her privacy levels, but there are other people that she deals with that don't deal with it so well. And I was just wondering how much of this is actually going to cause more of an issue about the sexual abuse and that topic, because now you have whoever to go in and be in not just school bathrooms, but public bathrooms, all of these different facilities. So somebody can dress as a transgender with the intentions of
Yes.
sexual assault.
Yes. And see, I kind of thought that's where you're going to go with this. And here's where I stand on that. Okay. I have absolutely no problem with people doing what they want to do with their body. I don't. That's up to them. When it comes to this issue, I honestly feel that if you can identify as being transgendered, but if you're a man and you identify as a woman, as a transgender woman, and you still have your genitalia, then I don't think you're transgender. Like, you shouldn't be changing in the bathroom with my daughter if you still have a penis. You shouldn't be changing in the bathroom with my son if you still have a vagina. I'm all for people making their own choices and their own freedoms of what they want to do with themselves. But when it comes to that kind of thing, of let's say, there's two boys that want to identify as females, and they're in middle school, and now they're identifying as transgenders. So now these boys, just because they identify as transgender, doesn't make them transgender. So now you got these boys, these middle school boys, these high school boys, literally changing their clothes in a locker room with biological females, and that's wrong. That's wrong. It's
okay. So now, based on that, and I agree with you. I don't care what people want to identify as. And that's why I joke around with everybody. I identify as a giraffe. This is my thing. So you can be whatever you want to be. And a friend of hers, a very close friend of hers, she is a female biologically. And last year, she identified as a male. And this year, she's not really sure. She kind of fluctuates back and forth. So
okay.
My question is, when you're dealing with this, and I kind of see it from the parents' perspective, it's different for a girl, because I remember being in high school and stuff, and I would throw on like some of my brother's stuff to just trash around in.
Right.
Because it was more comfortable. And I did the same thing. Like, I take one of my dad's big shirts or something and have like a shirt and stuff underneath it and kind of make
my daughter wears my pajama bottoms. She wears my t-shirts all the time when she goes to bed.
Right. Yeah. But this is not going out in public and going, well, today I'm going to be a male, tomorrow I'll be a female. So that was her question to me. So she's like, they're boys. And one of her friends is absolutely gorgeous as a girl. I mean, you really would not know that he is a girl, a boy, unless he told you. But they have PE together, and she's like, well, he goes down, comes into the locker room, but goes into the bathroom in the locker room to get changed. I personally have a problem with that.
I have a major problem with that.
And it's not because of the, you be whatever you want to be issue, but just like you said, you still have all the body parts that make you male. And to me, as a society, we're learning to be more accepting and so forth and so on. But what door are we opening to give people, whether it's male dressing as female or female dressing as male, going in there with not just our students, but public bathrooms.
Right.
Where does that raise the level?
It takes it up way too many notches. The opportunity for more people to end up being raped and groped and violated, it's gonna rise. Because I mean, I can easily put on a dress, shave my face. I got the long hair to pull it off. I can put on a dress and shave my face and then go walk into a woman's bathroom and everybody just got to shut their mouth because I identify as a woman.
Exactly.
I mean, I could literally be there with bad intentions, and I would know that that's my ticket of getting in. Any pervert's going to see that this is a golden opportunity to be able to violate somebody.
Now,
Period.
I don't know if you remember when the whole big issue started, when you would see the family bathrooms in like Walmart or the different stores, because
Right.
people went absolutely bananas. Oh my God, a family bathroom, well, okay. I thought they were a good idea because instead of dad taking his daughter into the men's room or mom
Right.
taking her son into the ladies' room, this gave the opportunity to not cross the line, but kind of make everybody else more comfortable.
Right.
So,
now see, like my little insight on that is these family bathrooms, it wasn't like they have 2 or 3 or 4 different stalls and toilets in them. It's a one toilet, one urinal, one baby changing station, a sink,
right.
and that's it. It's a private bathroom for a man to take his young daughter in to change their diaper or to help their daughter use the bathroom or whatever, or vice versa for a woman to take their son in there so they don't have to feel uncomfortable. So you shouldn't have to subject your kid to that. So I mean, that's I still think they're a good idea.
I do. I honestly do. And I don't see a problem with that. So that's why I said it's not the same as, okay, you're in the men's room and this female dressed as a man comes in. You're not going to be as affected as if it was reversed, as a woman being in the bathroom and a man dressed as a woman comes in.
Right.
Because that to me is a little bit more of a possibility of sexual assault.
Yeah.
I mean, because yes, a man can fight off another woman, but it's
sometimes.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
true.
I've had my ass whooped by a woman before, so
that's true. There's some tough women out there. So when you bring it down to, and now this is not just middle school. This is happening in elementary school.
That's ridiculous.
Because when my granddaughter and my grandson are both a year apart, so I had one last year that was still in elementary school and one that was in middle school. And when it was brought up to me, my grandson had told me, oh yeah, we have the same thing in my school. And I said, wait a minute, you're in elementary school. This shouldn't be a topic anywhere in that criteria. I'm sorry. A and B don't go together.
Yeah, they don't.
So I wanted to kind of, have my granddaughter feel comfortable and talk to me, which I'm glad she does. And she was explaining this to me and she goes, so, bathroom. Now that's a concern of mine because this can cause major health issues.
Yeah.
But they're told, well, if you don't feel comfortable, then you can go to the nurse's bathroom. Okay, well, that's great. Line forms to the left. It's like going to a concert. Really? I mean,
yeah.
So that's
especially in a school. You know what I mean? Like in a school, like you only got 5 minutes in between classes to get from class to class, and if you got to use the bathroom, you know what I mean? Like it's not enough. You can't stand in line and be waiting. Like there's more people that's got to use the bathroom that's not transgender or that identify as being transgendered, than there are people that's got to use the bathroom in school at the same time. You know what I mean? So maybe they should have to go down to the nurse's station.
So Well, this is why I brought that up, because to me, it again runs hand in hand with this same issue that we're bringing awareness to so many things, but at the same time, you have to tread lightly because it's not to make anyone feel bad about whatever they want to be, but you are now infringing on somebody else's privacy,
Right.
and especially as a child.
Yeah.
So then and I understand why some of these parents are getting upset because this is happening in schools. And I'm not saying, don't be whatever you want to be, but where is our child protected? Because it may not be another student. It may be your identifiable teacher, counselor, coach,
There you go. That's a
who
good
wants
point.
to be whatever they want to be that day.
I definitely don't want a 36-year-old male or female teacher going to the bathroom with my son or daughter just because they identify as being transgendered.
Exactly. And that's what, and when I started talking to my granddaughter about it, and she was very open about this, that was one of the questions I asked her. I was like, so when the bathrooms that you use that are in the hallway and such, do the teachers go down to their own bathroom, or do they just, and she goes, well, sometimes the teacher will just run and you use that bathroom because, they only have X amount of time to get to a class also.
Right.
Well, there's those red flags in my mind that go up to
instant red flags. And if they don't, and if you don't have red flags when that topic gets brought up, there's something wrong. I don't care what side of the fence you're on.
And that's the same thing. And, I do the same thing with my grandson. He's a year younger. And, since he brought it up last year when he was in elementary school about this same topic, I was like, okay, so you technically don't know if that's a boy or a girl who's going in the boy's bathroom with you. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So there again is that question. So now, when she asked that question of how soon do you talk to your kids? Well, let's bring it back even further. Let's go into daycare centers.
Yeah.
Head Start, all of these different programs, you don't know if you're putting your child in a daycare center, this person, and you cannot ask them, what is your actual gender? Are we going to have a show and tell before I sign my kid up, or what's the deal here? So you don't know if that female is a female or if that female is female.
Yep.
And you're dropping off your little one who could be anywhere from newborn to 4 years old before they start school. And this person could be changing diapers. This person is going to be helping, use the bathroom and so forth and so on. So there's that big question. When she brought up, at what age do you talk about this stuff? Well, again, I think it has to do with the maturity of the child. And unfortunately, we have to make our children more mature earlier so they don't run into this. And on top of that, you have to teach your child that what you see isn't always what you get.
Right. You're right. So since we came full circle back to this topic, here's my official statement on what I believe is the perfect time to start talking to your kids and educating them on private areas and sexual abuse. Now, I think the perfect time to introduce your child to that stuff, to keep them safe, is as soon as you, as a parent, quit wiping their ass for them and quit changing their diaper. That's the time that a penis becomes a private area. That's the time to start to explain to your child, this is why we don't do this. That's the perfect answer, I think. As soon as you no longer change your child's diaper and have to wipe your child's ass, you should probably start talking to your child about sexual abuse and private areas. That's my official statement on that. That's how I feel. I mean, because at that point, you know, a child's used to having the wipe down and the clean down during a diaper, you know, after the changing of a diaper, you know, so they're used to a parent touching those areas. But then it stops, and the child could be like, well, you know what I mean? Like, why did, you know, that's different, and not really pay any attention or really put any insight into it. Like, and then somebody else could come along and start touching them, and they're just thinking along the same lines, you know what I mean? I just think that's the best time to do it.
You know, and that is so hard because so when you're starting at that point with the child, here's my question. How did you introduce the topic to your child? Because I know how I introduced it to mine.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I should have approached it a little bit different. I should have, in society these days, like on social media and stuff, and I'm even hearing it. I'm even hearing it in person now. People won't say sexual abuse or sexually abused or you know, these words. They take the meanings of these. They take these word identifiers, like, don't say SA on YouTube. Or don't say sexual assault on YouTube. Say SA. You know what I mean? So that right there is a way of dumbing down the severity of what sexual abuse is. My wife and I both, it was a little bit after we stopped changing their diapers and wiping their ass for them that we started talking to them about it. But what I did is we call them no-no squares, and you know, a boy's got 3 no-no squares, you know, a girl's got 4 no-no squares, or you know what I mean? So,
and how did you find that your child reacted to that, though, when you first started bringing that subject up?
Well, at first they just kind of, it was more so my son, I guess, like, and my daughter just kind of started, you know, she was around like when we would talk, when we talk about it or whatever. And I mean, it's not something that we talk to our children about all the time, every day, you know what I mean? Just every once in a while, you know, so they just get the idea and the concept, you know. I think my son at first didn't really give a shit, really didn't understand what I was saying, because it had been a little bit of time since we had stopped changing his butt. But all in all, I think it was really receptive. They were really receptive of it. I know that preparing my children at a really young age. My son was no older than 3 years old when we started talking to him about it. My daughter is almost 2 years younger than him, so she's been hearing my wife and I talk about sexual abuse basically her whole life. And now, don't twist that shit. Don't get that all twisted. It's not like we're sitting there, you know, telling stories to our kids at 4 years old about, you know what I mean? We're just preparing them for what could possibly happen and how to stop it from happening. So I think they were really receptive to it. I know that my son was really receptive to it, and there's a couple of times he's like, Dad, I'm like, what? And he's like, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's okay. You can shake his hand, bud. You know what I mean? So, it's just it's a real hard topic to talk about in the first place, and then to try to talk about it to a child, it's even harder. And I just think the earlier the better. That way, it becomes something not so. Even though it's a horrible act, if you teach it to them young and you keep reinstilling that knowledge in their mind, it becomes kind of normal, and it's not such a sticky situation or sticky topic to talk to anybody about. Being sexually abused and creating awareness to not be sexually abused is extremely important. I mean, it's spreading the knowledge about it is the only way to stop it.
I found out something the other day, and I didn't even realize it, that I actually talked to my grandson a lot earlier than what I thought I talked to him. And I was flipping through pictures, and we were talking and everything. And I came across one of his pictures. Well, he was known for streaking through the backyard.
Hi, sunshine, moonbeams.
So we have the 6-foot fence, privacy fence around the yard and everything. Yep. But he would prefer to run around butt naked than have a diaper on.
Hell, I'd prefer to run around butt naked right now myself. You know what I mean? Like, but we just can't. I'm just, my mom had, it was impossible to keep a diaper on me from what my mom says. So yeah, I know all about you.
Without even realizing it, that's when I actually started talking to him, and I explained to him, okay, I get it. You're running around inside the house. It's one thing. It's family. It's just, I prefer that you not do that. And then when he was running around the backyard, I sat him down and I explained to him, I said, there's like, bad people. I said, even though you can't see them, I said, but you see all the houses that are all around us that have windows. I said, you don't know who's watching from that 2nd-story window.
Right.
And that's when I realized I actually started that conversation with him when he was about 1.5 years old, 2 years, without even realizing I started having that conversation with him.
Right. So you obviously started talking to your children at a fairly early age about sexual abuse.
Yeah, without even realizing it, though. It's like I had the talk with both of my daughters and then with my grandkids, and as a grandparent, you take things a lot more in stride. So yeah, you want to be a little streaker, whatever. I don't care. There's nobody home, just us. I don't care.
Yeah.
The only person that's going to be looking at you is the dog. So whatever.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like I said the other day, I was like, I really actually did start making him aware of what he was doing wasn't just, which is really sad because your little kid should be able to run around butt naked in your backyard if you want to.
Yeah.
It was hot. It was summer. It was the kiddie pool, whatever. But it was that realization when I said to him, all those 2nd-story windows that are around you may or may not have a person watching you, and they can see over the fence.
And I assume that was like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago.
You
don't have to say. That's why I said it.
It was about 10 years ago.
Okay, so now imagine, how small cameras have gotten nowadays. Now you ain't even got to worry about that dude on the 2nd floor. You can have somebody just walk by your yard that knows you got kids in the middle of the night and put a camera in your goddamn yard.
Exactly. Everybody's got a doorbell cam. Everybody's got all these cameras around their houses and everything. And you don't know who's picking up what you're doing, which you think is completely innocent.
Yep. Nope, we shouldn't have to worry about our kids being naked in our own yards. You're right.
And it's very frustrating. It really is because, if you think back to those days, and I remember being little and, my parents never really thought too much about it. Hell, my parents even lost me for the longest time. They didn't even go looking for me. Hell
yeah, my parents are still not looking for me. They lost me 35 years ago.
I remember I used to have this thing where we lived. We had barberry bushes around the driveway. Mm-hmm. And I would go out in my little diaper and I would go crawl up underneath the barberry bush and I would take a nap with the cat. So, I mean, it's like, it was nice, little quiet place. I was there. And I remember my parents used to never know where I was. And then they would always look, oh, she's underneath the barberry bush sleeping, and they would leave me there. Do that today and, you'll have CPS on your front door.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But
Which we won't even go. I won't even go off on a tangent about CPS and their worthless fucking asses on this live, but I could go off on CPS for hours because they're the biggest corrupt, most fucking unworthy pieces of shit that's ever walked the earth besides a pedophile in my book.
Oh yeah, I kind of have an issue dealing with them right now. Not with not with my kids directly, but with one of my family members' kids. So
get a hold of me later. I'm not a lawyer, but I know my shit, and I'll help you guys out. I'll tell you. I'm telling you right now. I'll help you out. I'll tell you exactly what can be done and what can't be done.
Yeah,
my sister almost lost all 3 of her kids because of CPS bullshit.
Well, in very few words, my daughter was living in another state, and I had to move her out to this state pretty much in the dark of night across country. And when she got here, I had police officers on my doorstep asking me if she was here because there was an inquiry from another state. I was like, you got to be kidding. I call you people because people have destroyed my property and you guys don't show up, and you people just show up whenever you want to for this, things that have no relation to anything. Hey, I got a bonfire going in my backyard, and come on, people.
Yep. That's horrible, sunshine and moonbeams. And yeah, you should message me later. I'd really like to get you up on panel and have you tell your story. I'm telling you right now. I really would.
It helps a lot.
See, and there's another person that I've been trying to talk into to coming up on panel, but she doesn't want to show her face and she doesn't know how to go and she's worried about it. But I just tried, like, I know what it did for me when I got up on It Matters panel, and I actually told things about my past and my childhood that happened to me that I hadn't even told my wife about. And I know how good it was for me, and I know how it was when it was done, when it was over. You know, and I mean, I didn't
releasing that secret, that deep down secret that has been eating at you and eating at you and eating at you. And it's like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to say what I have to say. And again, I mean, even if she comes on panel and doesn't want to get very graphic, you don't even have to go graphic.
Yeah. But I've been talking to her. We're getting closer and closer, I think, but we'll see. I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm pressuring them or they're being pressured or they have to come up here and tell their story, because that's not what it's about. That's just part of this channel. It's all about healing and moving forward and making a change. So I just know how much better I felt when I told my story up on panel, and as soon as I clicked that end live button and it was over, I felt even better. And I felt better ever since then. I mean, I'm still damaged goods, you know what I mean? Little shout out there, you know what I mean? But
yeah, see, but I don't look at it that way, and that's one thing, and I've said it to a couple different people. The word victim and the word survivor are 2 words that I don't want to hear, because replace the word survivor with warrior. And I think that's a better word to describe what it is after, because, okay, maybe in the beginning you're the survivor, but after you fought through it, you were a warrior to get through all of this with the strength needed to make every single day. And, you know, even though you think you're not thinking about it, you're thinking about it.
Oh yeah. Like people are like, well, you know, you're obsessed with this shit, and yeah, I am. Like, sexual abuse is the last thing on my mind when I go to bed, and it's the first thing on my mind when I wake up. So,
and unfortunately, you know, it's a powerful part of your life whether you want to admit it or not. And people can say it's obsession or whatever word you want to use, but it's not. Because when, like you said, when you wake up in the morning, it's there. When you go to sleep at night, it's there. It pops up in your dreams. It's there. You really don't have control over when it's going to just rear its ugly head.
Right.
And that's why I said, you're not a survivor, you're a warrior, because
Yeah.
every day you are fighting that fight of the strength and the ability. And with you bringing it out there and saying, hey, you know what? I've had enough. And everybody else out there has got to realize you've had enough. We've all had enough. Our children should not even get to this point to have to be a victim, to have to be a
Right.
survivor / warrior.
Right. Right. I don't want my kids to have to be a warrior. Not in this department. At all.
I don't want to go do jail time because that's exactly what would happen.
Oh, I'd murder somebody.
You know, that is one thing, you know, people joke about it, this, that, and the next thing. It's like, no, there's no joke involved. No, I will hunt you down. Forget anybody else. I will hunt you down.
You better hope God has mercy, because what I'm going to do to you is going to be unbearable. I'll feed you chunk by chunk to your own fucking dog. Mess with my kids, and that's not a joke.
You know, and okay, people don't understand that unless they've been there. They don't understand that there is a rage, a constant.
Oh, fucking my blood's boiling right now. I got goosebumps running from my fucking back of my motherfucking neck all the way down to my fucking toes, man. Oh yeah, you can call it a rage. Yeah, you're right. Fucking yeah, dude. Mess with my kids and I will fucking put you in the dirt. I don't give a fuck. If that gets me struck, I don't even care if it gets me taken down, because I'll just create another channel and do it again.
See, and I don't know if you get that too. Like if you're out someplace and you get like that vibe, like that, the little hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and all of a sudden you're like kind of looking over your shoulder and something just doesn't feel right. And you just start scoping the area going, okay, why do I have this feeling? What is it that's something is not right?
You know, it's crazy you bring that up, because about 6 months ago, my son who is almost 18 years old, or almost 17 years old, we were at our local grocery store, and the clerk was overly friendly to my son. He blew me off. I mean, I'm not like the type of person that really wants to have a conversation with people anyway when I'm out in public, but he like totally blew me off and was fixated on my son. And he was talking about rap music and this and that. And I looked at him and something just didn't feel right. And I looked at him right in his face and I said, "You ever heard of Death Row Records?" He's like, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Well, that's where I'll be. You keep talking to my fucking kid like that." I don't give no fucks, dude. I will call you out. I'll put you on the spot. I will fucking break your fucking neck in public if you want to try to approach my kids in a fucking disgusting manner. And that's exactly how I felt. And why? Because my radar fucking hit hard. Bing, 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 bing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not right.
I have been told when I'm out with my grandkids and stuff that I will get a look in my eyes that is just like, back off. Like you were in my personal bubble, back off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's horrible because, you know, you can't even tell your kid, and they're preteen and teen, and you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to be right here. You can go like 50 feet away from me where you can still see them because they want to go look at something. No, you pretty much want to slap that leash on them and go, you're staying right next to me and we'll go together.
Yeah, that retractable dog leash that they got, you know, you want to put one of those on them, but it's only like a 3-foot one in the first place, you know? Yeah, dude. Like, I don't care, man. I will gladly fucking die for my children. I will gladly go to prison for the rest of my life to keep my children safe. And if somebody fucks with my kids, people say hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Well, you ain't seen me fucking pissed off because you violated my child.
You know, it's the little things. You know, you're in the grocery store, and you know how kids used to climb up where like the paper towels were, and they'd be like in a little fort and everything. The first time one of my grandkids did that, I just about had a complete stroke, a meltdown right there. And the kid was literally right next to me, but I did not see him because he crawled in that little space. And I just went into full panic mode. And then, I had him come out of there and I just held on to him and I almost bursted down in tears. And he's just looking at me like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
every thought went through my mind in just a few seconds.
yeah. There's a rap artist I like to listen to. His name's Haystack. And he's got a song, it's called Those People. The second verse is the verse that gets me the most. And it's the one that sticks out to me the most. And it's the one that I live my life by. And I'm sure this is going to get some negative comments and whatever. And I really don't give a fuck. I really don't. But this second verse basically he says, when I picture a dude touching my daughter, I think about the torture, duct tape, and butt rape a person would endure for touching my babies. That's me. That's me.
I'm gonna have to go look up that song.
Oh, the whole song is my life. That's me. If you want to know who Get to Know is, listen to fucking Haystack, Haystak, those people. Because I am one of those people. There's a little bit of evil in all people, but in some people, there's a little more evil than in most people. I'm one of those people. I will fucking feed you to your dog. You fuck with my kids. And that's no joke.
And unfortunately, I carry that horrible wanting in the back of my mind all the time. And yeah, I think that's where I get that look when, don't look at my kids, don't look at my grandkids. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, like I will fucking rip your eyeballs out right now for just glancing at them.
And it's so terrible because it's like the most innocent thing that, but it's taken to the next level in our minds of it's not innocent.
Nope.
I'm putting thoughts in my head of what I think might be going through your head.
Yep. And see this, and I'm sure I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm sure I can speak on your behalf for this. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm sure that you have that feeling about that, just like I do, because you were sexually abused. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
I will do whatever it fucking takes to make sure my kids do not get sexually violated. Period. And I don't give a fuck what age they are. If my daughter comes to me in 25 years from now, at the age of 40 years old, and she tells me somebody raped her, I'm going to go find that motherfucker and I'm going to cut him up in pieces. I'm going to feed him to his fucking dog. Same with my son.
I don't ever want to see somebody, and it's really sad because you can actually look at somebody who you don't even know, and it could be somebody completely across the room, and there is just a look, and it's almost like there's something in their eyes that you could just connect with that person and understand without even saying a word that something happened.
Yep. Yeah. Like I gotta turn my camera off real quick, but I'm still here. But I'm just taking a hit of weed. I just don't want anybody to see it, you know what I mean? So just so everybody knows. I'm not sniffing lines in the background, chopping lines up with my kids or anything, But but yeah, like I like, and it all comes down. I feel this way because what happened to me as a child, and because somebody decided to get their gratification off abusing me, and it all my, I don't give a shit what anybody says. All my problems in life stem from the first time I was molested.
How does it make you feel, honestly, when somebody actually, and I love this statement, how do you feel about the other person that this is not technically a sexual act, but it's a sickness? When that is being said to you, if anybody has ever said that to you, that person, it wasn't for their sexual gratification, but it's a mental illness.
Fuck yourself.
Okay.
That's my idea. That's my thought about it. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck who you are. You could say that to me right now, Opa, and I would straight up tell you, go fuck yourself. I never want to talk to you again.
Because I have heard that about so many cases where they've tried to, well, you have to understand.
Nope, I don't.
Understand what? There is no understanding.
But yeah, like just like Sugar Glider just said, there's nothing to understand. Look, being a pedophile, you got me lit up today, Opa. I'm telling you, you got me lit up today. So being a pedophile is a motherfucking choice. It's not a sickness. It's not a fucking disease. It's something that you learn. It's something that you learn that you accept to be normal in your life, and you continually make the choice on your own free fucking will, to continually violate children. Yeah, just like Sugar Glider just said. She said, I was abused and I didn't continue the abuse. Look at me. I'm sure I can speak on your behalf too, Opa. I was abused. I'm not a fucking pedophile. Are you a pedophile, Opa?
Oh God, no.
Well, there you see. So there you go.
I don't see I have a problem, and I don't understand how anybody as an adult, especially not a young adult, but a mature adult, to look at a baby or a toddler, a preschooler. How do you
I
even
just gotta give you some of that. Are you fucking? How that thought could even cross somebody's fucking mind makes me want to fucking do vile things to fucking ignorant people like that, dude. Like legitimately, I don't give a fuck.
And I don't understand. I mean, so telling me that this is, oh well, so and so did it to me, and this is just a generational thing. No, because then I think there would probably be more in your family. Is how I look at it. Because if
what's that, babe?
There comes a point when somebody who has been abused reaches a point where you are going to decide to continue to be the predator, or you're going to break the cycle.
Right. Did you hear her?
No.
She said there comes a point in time in somebody's life where they decide they're either going to continue. Huh? If somebody's been abused, there comes a point in time in that individual's life where they sit down and make the conscientious decision to put a fucking end to that cycle or to carry on with that cycle.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like I know, like I can replay the conversation in my head, word for fucking word, that I had with myself when that shit was going on in my life.
But how many times have you seen it? And I have seen it, and it just makes me irate to see it in a news article or whatever, or a courtroom, and you hear, well, it's not really their fault. Excuse me? Then whose fault is it?
Yeah.
If you have the ability
it's definitely that child's fault. It's definitely that child's fault. You got to blame it on that child. They shouldn't have been so fucking promiscuous.
Oh my God, when I hear that too, that is just
I want to
so
reach through the fucking screen and break someone's fucking neck every time I hear that shit, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? All right. Well, she asked for it. She crawled on my. Are you fucking snap his fucking neck and move the fuck on, man?
Exactly. Oh well, she was wearing those cute little ruffles on her diaper. So what?
Yeah. So what? So answer me this then, there, bud. How about I go put a fucking diaper on with them fucking real cute ruffles on and see if you're attracted to me and see what you get, motherfucker. How about that shit?
And honestly, I mean, yeah, it's so terrible because I used to put my daughters in these cute little outfits, and I'd put my grandkids in their cute little outfits and everything. And I always thought, okay, so is somebody going to look at this the wrong way? I mean, even over the summer when you have your little one and you put him in a bathing suit, you always wonder, okay, so is somebody going to look at my kid in a way they shouldn't be looking at my kid? And why do I even have to think like this?
You know what, Opa? I fucking love you, girl. I'm telling you right now, I fucking love you, dude. These are legitimate thoughts that cross my mind all the fucking time, okay? Now, my daughter, who's almost 16, almost 15. Sorry, I just smoked some weed, so I kind of forget things. But my daughter is almost 15, and she's been in a bikini one time. Well, I don't even want to call it a bikini, a two-piece bathing suit. And that's when she was like 6 years old, And I seen a picture of her, and it's one of my most favorite fucking pictures because she's just so beautiful. I got her hair all did up, all nice and cool, and she's at a swimming pool, at our local swimming pool. And I seen these people in the background, and to me, they look like they're staring at my daughter in this picture. And I said, no. Never again will I see that. Like, because it's not a matter of if somebody sees this picture, are they going to fucking think of her? No. It's just a matter of when somebody sees this picture, and they will visually fantasize about sexually violating your 6-year-old daughter who's wearing a swimsuit, supposed to be just having fun, being totally fucking innocent as a 6-year-old kid, but you're over there in the background and you're sitting there looking at my daughter. You know what I mean? Fuck these motherfuckers, man.
And it's absolutely terrible because we have, every year we have a pool in the backyard. We have a pool deck. So when you're up on the deck, you're kind of above the fence line. And my granddaughter is so modest. So she'll wear a tankini, and then she has her bathing suit cover-ups, and she has towels and all of this stuff. She is so aware of, unfortunately, growing up, she's been so aware of how other people might look at her. She's not that girl who's running around showing it all off.
Right.
And a friend of hers would come over and go swimming with her all the time. Totally the opposite. Less is more for her. For a couple of Band-Aids and the girl's good to go. And
oh fuck no. Oh fuck no. I'm having a heart attack right now. Like, I want to fucking whoever you are, quit. Okay? That's not good shit, man. It's only gonna lead down a road that's not good for anybody. Like, legitimately. I don't mean to sound rude and ignorant, and I hope you don't actually ever hear this, but seriously, put some clothes on. More is better. Period.
And I don't look at it as a bad way, but I kind of feel sad that, here she is, and she's always been like this, 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, and she's still.
Why were her parents okay with her dressing like that? Why did they start dressing her like that?
Okay, so my granddaughter's always been taught to be modest, not because she's ashamed of her body, because she's not in any way, shape, or form.
My grandma would say, cover yourself up. Leave some to the imagination. Don't let them all see it. Don't let them see everything all right now. You let them want to come. You know what I mean? Like, leave some to the imagination, man.
Well, I think that was kind of a big help because my grandkids were brought up also with their great grandmother and their great grandfather.
Oh, there you go.
So we were all in the house together, and which is really sad because let me finish this thought, and then I got to tell you something which is so sad. But her friend came over, and she's like, "Why don't you come in the house and borrow one of my bathing suits?" She actually felt uncomfortable for her friend, and it's like, I'm looking at this going, wow, I don't know if I did something right or if I did something wrong, because the fact that she's looking at her friend going, you need to put something on.
Oh, my daughter's friends, and my daughter, like, I see my daughter, we call them Daisy Dukes, but you know what I mean? So, like, I see my daughter in a pair of Daisy Dukes one time, and I said, "Excuse me, get your fucking ass right." And these are my words. So call it child abuse, call it whatever you want. I don't fucking care. These were my exact words. Get your fucking ass back in that room, and you better put some clothes on right now, and I better never see you dress something like that again. Period.
See, and my girls were brought up the same way. It's like they were brought up very modest. It's not, they knew how to dress to look good and still be female without having to throw it all out there.
Yeah. Legitimately. Like, here's a perfect example, okay? I haven't even divulged this story to my wife, okay? So that's how good this one is. You're going to want to watch this one just for this story, okay? So before I met my wife about 21 years ago, I was just getting off work. It was late in July. It It was hotter than hell outside. I was in my blazer, no top on it, just balling home from work. And I go past this junior high school, and as I'm passing this car, I yelled out the window to this lady. I was like, "Damn," you know what I mean? Like, "Damn, you're hot, you're fine, girl," you know what I mean? And I hear this man say, "Hey, that's my daughter." And I slammed on my brakes. I fucking backed up and I said, well, "Excuse me?" He goes, "You shouldn't be fucking saying stuff like that out the window of your car." I said, "You know what? You're right. You're right. But you, the fuck are you? Dude, this middle school girl, this little middle school girl was wearing basically a fucking halter top, tube top with extra short basketball shorts on, dude." And he's like, "Hey, that's my daughter." And I'm like, "What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh
You allow your fucking daughter? You allow your daughter to fucking dress like that? And you're calling me the fucking sicko?" Like, I want to go shoot myself in the fucking face right now because I feel like such a fucking scumbag pig. I just yelled at, "Damn, girl," to some fucking middle school girl that looked like she was fucking 27, 28 fucking years old. How fucking dare you allow your daughter to dress like she's fucking an adult?
Exactly.
Fuck that shit, dude. No. No, fuck that, dude. I slammed on my brakes so fucking hard, I almost went through the dashboard myself, dude. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This motherfucker's about to get fucking rocked, and he got rocked hard.
See, my father, unfortunately, and this is so hard because it bothered me then, and to this day, it still bothers me. When my daughters were little, my parents would babysit for them. And my dad always made sure that my mom was around if he changed a diaper. And it's like, the thought really never clicked in my mind. It was like, this is like really weird. I just thinking grandparent wise, grandpa doesn't want to change the diaper type thing. Okay, whatever. But when it got to his great grandkids, he was the same way. And he would always make sure that someone else was around when he changed the diaper.
I can tell you why.
And I asked him, I said, okay, if you don't want to change the diaper, just say so. Because I was making a joke out, I was making a joke out of it. And he goes, no, he goes, it's not that. And I looked at him and it clicked. And he goes, I don't ever want to be accused of inappropriately touching my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren. And
you're an amazing, he's a brilliant man. That's a brilliant man.
It caused such a pit in my stomach to hear him say that, because it's like, these are your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. And the idea that you have to protect yourself for just changing a diaper, what does that say about society?
Yeah, this is the gospel truth right here. This is the gospel truth right here, okay? Give me a Bible and I'll swear upon it right now. I have never changed a single diaper on my daughter or my son. I have never gave either one of my son or my daughter a bath, ever, for that exact same fucking reason right there.
And I find that so heart-wrenching and so terrible, because especially like bath time, it's like so cute.
I never played in the bathroom. I think I washed my son's hair a couple times. I washed my daughter's hair maybe once or twice, but that's it. And that's it. Like, I legitimately, and people gave me shit about it all the time because I wouldn't. I don't care, dude. My wife, okay, picture this, okay? My wife got locked up for about a year when my son was first born, okay? And when I had my son, when I wasn't working my job, when I had my son, if he needed his diaper changed, I would get up, I would load him up in his fucking car seat, I would put him in the car, I would drive him across town, and I would have my mom change his ass, just so nobody could ever fucking say anywhere close that I ever did anything to my kids, man. That's the exact fucking reason right there, dude. Horrible. Now imagine how that feels, dude. Dude, every dad wants to change their kid's diaper so they can get shit about not wanting to change their kid's diaper. You know what I mean?
I mean, you got to get peed on at least once.
Never, never, never.
Never.
Nope. My wife got pooped on once. That was fucking crazy as
That was not.
that was crazy as hell. I couldn't help but laugh, but I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna cost me later. But it was like all across her face and her hair.
Oh, yeah.
Her hair, her cheek, you know, it was good. I was just like, I couldn't help but laugh. It was cute as fuck, man. And see, I would love to have had like been able to have that on a picture. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure you would.
It is absolutely heart wrenching. And what's even, worse about this, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I have pictures of my daughters and my grandkids when they were in the tub, but the tub was filled with bubbles. And I always did from the neck up because they
Right.
always played with bubbles and stuff in the tub. And I got some really good pictures out of it. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with those pictures. They're from the neck up. You cannot see anything because they would just be surrounded by bubbles. And when you think about that, it's like, wow, you can't even.
I can't post this picture. I can't post this picture on social networks because some fucking pervert out there is going to sexually imagine themselves sexually violating my child. Now, how
Exactly.
fucked up? Like anybody that supports that kind of shit, like if you're okay, well, I don't want to see that. Well, then you know what? There shouldn't, because if you're looking at a child like that as in any way related to in a sexual fucking manner, you're a fucking pig. Fuck you and die.
I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm always running around with a camera, so I'm always catching those. I love candid photos. I don't like a person to be posing, and I love to take those candid photos.
Those original fucking those actual photos of how people really are in that moment. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Can't do that anymore.
They're so real. And I remember my grandson, the little nudist, he had gotten his first tricycle, and he was with my dad out on the porch, and he took his diaper off because it was hot, and he's running around on his little tricycle, butt naked. And without even thinking, I took a picture of him. Well, you can see his butt in the picture. That's all you see. But again, this is something that
it's just a fucking child on a tricycle enjoying their fucking childhood. And if you look at a naked child and see that anywhere remotely as fucked up or as fuck yourself, man. That's just a kid. It's a baby. It's a fucking innocent being innocent, dude.
it was
you
the look on
realize
his
that you're
face.
fucked up.
It was the look on his face that was so priceless because he sat on that cold metal seat.
Oh shit!
I love that picture because the facial expression was worth 10,000 words, just right there. And you can't. I've tried cropping it and everything else to show people it and covering up the part, but you really don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know that his little bare butt is on that ice cold metal seat.
Yeah. And how dare you? And don't you dare point that out, because someone's going to sexually fucking gratify themselves thinking about your. The fuck kind of world are we living in, man?
Exactly.
What the fuck kind of world are we living in? And we're all okay with this shit? Nuh-uh, we ain't.
And this
Hear my voice and listen. I'm not joking. Shit's gonna change one way or fucking another, man.
This is why it has to stop. This is why your channel and getting awareness out there has got to point this out. And people have got to hear it and understand the most innocent things that we look at as being something innocent or cute or just funny or whatever, because that's what it is. It's not anything more, but there is that sick person who looks at that and gets a thrill.
Yeah. Sunshine Moonbeams right there sums it up real quick, real good right there.
Exactly.
We should only see them as a kid, nothing more. Period, 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 period. That's it. The fact that we even have to fucking entertain the fucking idea that people are gratifying themselves on pictures of fucking pictures of children. The fact that we entertain that idea is fucked up, like legitimately. I won't even say that word fucked up this time because that's how legitimately. That's fucked up.
I have a million videos because again, I'm always with my camera of the kids out in the pool and being goofy because we got all the inflatables, so they like the big bowl and all this stuff. And I look at those pictures and I just see these kids being so silly and so happy and so full of life. And you just see the innocence on their face and stuff. But I had to go through and actually edit some of this because
somebody could possibly see this. Is not going to be the fuck, man.
Yeah, I actually had to look at some of it and go, okay, make sure nothing is hanging out on the bathing suit anywhere. Make sure that this is not this type of angle. Make sure. And my fiance and I are sitting there and he's like, I cannot believe that you are actually trimming and cropping photos just to put online to share with family, because you've got to be careful what somebody else might see.
Yeah, and you know what? More than likely, that person that's going to fucking take those pictures and violate your trust with your kids is going to be a fucking family member. How fucked up is that? How fucked up is that, man?
It takes the words right out of me. It really does.
What else is there to say? How fucked up is that? 88% of all sexually assaulted victims of any age happened because of somebody that they were fucking related to. 88%.
We have allowed society to take the innocence, the joy, the what would be normal in any event.
Yes.
You know, I remember going, and my daughter was a cheerleader. Well, her uniform covered, it wasn't the shorty little nothings. Okay, so she had enough, but there was a space between her tummy and where the bottom was. She put a bodysuit on underneath it because she felt uncomfortable when she was doing the cheers and stuff, that lifted and moved and everything. And she actually said to me, she goes, Mom, I don't know if they're here for the football game or if they're here for the cheerleaders.
Dude, my daughter tried out for the volleyball team, and I don't ever want anybody to try to twist this shit either, because that's not what this is about. But like, I was glad that she didn't make the fucking team, especially, or should I say, especially because I seen the uniforms,
The little tiny shorts
that these that like my wife don't even wear lingerie that's fucking revealing, and these are middle school girls, and you guys are you fucking get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here. All because of their, like, I would not have, even if she would have made the team, I would have seen that uniform and she wouldn't have played unless they would have allowed her to wear a fucking long t-shirt that covered up all of it.
No, and that's what my daughter did. She actually had me buy her a bodysuit that she would wear underneath it because she felt uncomfortable. And
yeah, smart girl.
You know, it's like, yes, my daughters are not just like my great kids. They are not ashamed of their bodies. But they've actually learned to look at how they're being looked at. And think about what we're doing to our kids that, you know, oh yeah, Billy Joe Ray Bob over there, you know, I don't know why he's here because he doesn't seem to know nothing about the sport.
He doesn't know nothing about the sport, and we all know he ain't got no kids.
Exactly.
The fuck are you doing here, bro? He's got a camera. He's got the biggest lens on his fucking camera. Are you questioning why he's fucking there? Come on, man. How fucking dumb are you guys? I mean, fucking for real, man.
Anything.
And nobody ever will because you're too afraid of offending somebody. Well, guess what? Get offended, motherfucker, because I'm protecting my kids, dude. All you parents out there who have daughters that are, especially daughters that are in volleyball, and especially daughters that are in basketball, you should be ashamed of yourselves to allow your daughters, your underage, innocent daughters, to go out and perform a sport in front of any fucking buddy in a uniform like that. pull your fucking heads out of your fucking asses and think about what you're fucking doing. You are creating future fucking victims, period. End of story. Mic drop. I'm out.
But you
Fuck
take that,
bullshit, man.
take that to everything out there. I mean, look at gymnastics. Look at ice
Oh,
skating.
fuck that shit.
Look,
Oh, fuck
you know,
all that shit.
So, I mean, really, you understandable why you're wearing this little leotard, because you need to be able to move, so forth and so on. You're wearing it for the sport, but the
Yeah.
person who's watching the sport, how many of those people are watching that skating because they're really interested in the skating? How many people are watching that gymnast because she's a really good gymnast?
Yeah. Now see, when the Olympics come around, when the Winter Olympics come around and the Summer Olympics come around, my favorite event to watch is legitimately gymnastics and figure skating. I fucking absolutely love the art of gymnastics.
It's
Like
amazing.
the way those gymnasts, like the way they use that ribbon in their dance routine, or that ball, and they catch you with the middle of their back. That is fucking amazing. But I can't help but sit there and watch it and say, I can't imagine how many people are sitting here having sexual gratifications just watching this.
Isn't that demented that our minds go to
Fucking
that?
horrible. It's fucking horrible. It's
And-
fucking horrible.
I think like that too, and it's like, oh my god, why would that thought even cross your mind? Because I used to love watching the skating. My mom loved watching the skating, and we would talk about, she loved watching the couple skating, and we were always so impressed of what these people could do.
Hang on. I gotta turn my camera off real quick. My wife don't want to be on camera, so
No, it's because I had to.
it's okay, babe.
We knew what it took to do these moves and these dance steps, especially being on ice skates. And then they land on these fucking two things that are no fucking thicker than a fucking blade of a fucking butcher knife. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't even dream about putting on a pair of fucking ice skates, let alone trying to go out there and do a triple axel and do a fucking double backflip lux. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Yeah,
I love the art of it. Like, and yeah, dude, not anymore.
The fact that these people are so graceful, and everything, all the bumps, bruises, broken bones, and everything it took to get there. So, we're appreciating what we're seeing, but there is that demented person who is watching this for a whole sick other reason.
Yeah.
Not for the beauty or the ability to do this.
Yeah. Like not just there's not just a few people out there. 3/4 of the people that are watching that kind of event are not there because they support the event, or because they got a kid in the event, or because they even enjoy watching the art of the event. They're there to get their fucking jollies off and to exploit people for sexual gratificational purposes, dude. And it's our fault. It's our fault, people, because we won't say words like sexually abused or domestic violence, and we won't teach you. And see, I'm glad we're right here, because this is going to bring this whole thing back to what the title of this video is. My wife and I thought about this earlier. Look, we got to teach our kids how to make them stop. Make them stop from whatever age. We got to teach our kids how to make sure that if somebody, no matter who it is, whether it's your mommy or your daddy, or your grandma or your grandpa, or your brother or your sister, or your teacher, or whoever, it doesn't matter who the fuck it is, including your doctor. It don't matter who the fuck it is. You scream at the top of your lungs, just like stranger danger. It's the same concept. Why do pedophiles get away with their shit so long? Because they manipulate the child into believing what's happening is either A, okay, or B, they intimidate that child so bad they're afraid for their life or their family's life. That's it. Those are the only two reasons why. Period.
See, now I have one older daughter who you look at her the wrong way, she'll take you down.
Oh,
You'll be
fuck yeah,
laying
that's
on
my
the
daughter.
ground.
That's my daughter right there. That's my daughter right there. She will fuck your world up. And she weighs 80 pounds.
She was raised with all the information that she needed, and she took that to heart. And if she even thinks that you got that thought in your mind to anybody who's around her, you're going to be laying on the ground. She is going to hurt you.
Yep. My daughter had her, and I'm using air quotes here. My daughter had her first boyfriend back like 4 months ago. And I'm glad this is for 18 and over, because if she heard me talking about this, she would probably kill me. Not literally, metaphorically speaking, but she would definitely fuck me up. But I wasn't happy that my 8th grade daughter had a boyfriend, and she literally went to my wife and she's like, Mom, I want to tell Dad, but I legitimately think my dad will kill this kid. And when my wife told me like 3 days after this, or after my daughter told her that she had a boyfriend and she wanted to tell me, but she couldn't because she was afraid I was going to bury him in the front yard. Because that's what I always told them. I said, you'll have one boyfriend. Oh, yeah, why is that, Dad? And I said, because that little motherfucker will be buried right there in my front yard. Not in the backyard. Nope, in the front yard where everybody can see him. Go ahead and get a boyfriend. Bring him over here. Your boyfriend before that, and in my front yard. You know what I mean? So she was legitimately convinced that I would go and fuck this kid up. And I can honestly say I would never hurt a kid. I would never hurt a kid. But that's how I just taught my daughter. And now we can talk about her having boyfriends and how I don't like it. And you know, she's not going to find her boyfriend in the town we live in. And, you know, whatever, you know, just typical dad stuff. So,
neither one of my girls, my older ones, they weren't into the whole dating thing. They kind of had their own direction. They hung out in groups of friends, that type of thing. And it was kind of nice because I never really had to stress over it. But when that first boyfriend came home,
oh shit,
I don't know why, but he left really early.
Yeah.
She invited him over for dinner, and I made sure that I waited to start cooking dinner when he was going to show up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had a whole butcher knife and big knives.
He's going to see my knife set, my gun rack, my racks of guns, my grenades.
You know, and I'm cooking dinner, and I got my knife out, and I'm having a serious conversation with him, and she's just like, Mom, he wants to leave. Okay. Okay.
Okay. He's free to leave anytime he wants to, but I would suggest that he stay here until I'm done with him.
And then we were sitting down at dinner, and I looked at him and I said, do you plan on having sex with my daughter?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yep.
I laughed so hard because this boy had soda shoot out his nose as soon as I said those words. And my daughter just looked at me, and I said, apparently you did not prepare him before.
Obviously. Like, I bet you wish you had a camera right then, huh? That'd been a good picture.
Oh my God, it was priceless.
I'd have fucking blew it up. I would have went out. My poor broke ass on disability ass. I would have literally went out and bought a fucking billboard and blew that fucking picture up and put it on a billboard all over my fucking town. That's how proud of that picture I would have been.
Oh, believe me, it got around because my daughter shared that with everybody. She told everybody what happened. But no, I mean, I sat there and I asked him, and then I waited, and I didn't say anything. And he didn't answer me. And I said, do you have hearing aids?
Are you deaf?
And he looked at me and I said, would you like me to use sign language? Should I draw you a picture? I said, I asked you, do you plan on having sex with my daughter?
And?
That boy sat there with that deer in the headlight look. I don't know if he took me seriously. I don't know if I embarrassed him. I really didn't care. And he just kind of stuttered out, no.
Girl,
So
you just lied to me.
I asked him, I said, so do you just normally lie on a daily basis, or do you lie to parents? My daughter didn't say a word. She just sat there and she just glared at me.
What can be said? That's like calling fucking checkmate in a game of chess, man. What else can there's nothing to be said?
I thought that I asked a very valid question.
You
and
did.
All I wanted was an honest answer. And the fact that he said no was right away. That's why I was like,
you lying little fucker.
You know, it's like, so I went on to explain to him. I said, one, I know you're a male. And I said, two, you know, I know all about erections and everything else. So, you know, I'm sure you don't have one right now. But at some point in time, when you're out with my daughter, this is going to come up in some sort of way, maybe not in conversation. And I said, I just want to put my image in your head, knowing that I asked you that question.
And then go at your head and try to engage in having sex with my daughter. Yeah.
That boy was, I think, absolutely, totally screwed up when he left, because I wasn't letting it go.
Well, good. Because that little fucker planned on having sex with your daughter.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't, like, my daughter, she asks me all the time, she's like, Dad, why are you like that? And I said, why? Because I know what I was doing, and I know what was on my mind when I was fucking 14 years old.
Exactly. So
he wasn't going to a girlfriend's house to study mathematics. He was going to a girlfriend's house to study mathematics.
I mean, what's wrong with having an honest conversation?
My answer to that question would have been, not now.
Well, that's what I figured. You know, I figured I would at least got a partial truth in there.
He flat out fucking lied. Period.
Right. So, you know, I kind of kept on pursuing it, and I kind of pushed, and I was like, so do you use condoms? My daughter's not on any sort of birth control. She's a virgin.
And you get pregnant, you will be taking care of this child. Whether you want to or fucking not me, you too will be taking care of this child. Like,
you know, and I just, you know, made sure that he understood that I was in his head. And I wanted him to know that I was in his head, and I wanted to be in his head. So every time that he looked at my daughter, he realized I'm in his head.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm saying. So let me ask you this. I got two questions for you. We don't got to get too personal, but how long did that relationship last?
That was pretty much the end.
Okay. And who broke up with who?
I don't know. All I know is
you should find out, because I guarantee you it was him. And it was all because of you, and you freaked him out. Because you just called him on his shit, and he just knew that he was. Go ahead, then.
So this one's not going to be easy.
Yeah, like, this was not, like, I'm not just going to be able to have sex with this girl and just bail, because this mom will probably fucking chop my hands off. And that's what I told, I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but I did.
I mean, my daughter did go around telling everybody exactly what I did to him at dinner.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was like just public humiliation, or just the fact that, maybe I was in his head to the point where he didn't want to come back, because she thought it was funny. And she told everybody, she goes, I can't express enough. Whatever pops in my mom's head will come out her mouth.
And that's where I'm at with my kids, and they know it. And like, my daughter just started warning her friends, like, I don't care. I'm allowing you to have the privilege to hang out with my amazing child. So that has requirements to it. Like, you're not going to dress all skimpy. You're not going to have a snooty fucking attitude. How you talk to your parents is not how you're going to talk to me. I can be your friend because you're my daughter's friend, but I'll tell your parents exactly where they fucking gone wrong. And my daughter will tell people, like, my dad's, he's straight up. Like, I don't beat around the bush. I don't play that fucking game. It is what it is. My daughter had a friend this boy come over 2 summers ago, So my daughter was 12 at the time.
Poor kid.
And my wife even just said, I hope you heard her. She said, poor kid. And
that's
after I was done with this conversation with him, I legitimately felt like an asshole. But he knew where I stood. And he knew that he wasn't going to just come in here and try to violate my daughter in my house because I wouldn't have it. I literally told him, I was like, I'll chop your hands off. And he looked at me and he goes, Mr. McGonagall, you don't have to worry. I will never touch your daughter. And I said, you know what? For some reason, I believe you, dude.
My daughter was in her early 20s. She brought home this guy. Apparently, they were dating for a while because she didn't want to bring him to the house. I don't know why.
My daughter said she'll never bring her boyfriend home.
But she brought him around finally. And it was in the summer, and we're all kind of kicked back and everything, and we were barbecuing. And he comes in, and he's all wiry and everything, just being a normal teen, you know? Well, early 20s. I still consider them kind of teens because, you know, they're not brain.
About 23, I figure.
So he's all goofy, and I looked at him, and she goes, Mom, this is the guy I'm going to marry. I looked at him, I said, come over here. He goes, why? I said, because I'm going to sign your ass. He goes, what? I said, you heard me. I said, I'm going to write my name on your ass. And he goes, why? I said, because I own you.
No, I got the camera off there. Yeah.
And he thought I was kidding. So he goes over and he grabbed a marker off the table and he goes, here. I said, really, boy? You don't think I'm going to do it? Well, he dropped his pants just enough, not all the way. And I signed his butt. And I said, now I own you. I said, and I'm going to explain to you what that means.
Now, your ass is mine.
That daughter right there, which you're claiming as being yours, no, that's mine. I said, so anything you do, I'm going to know, and I'm going to hunt you down, and I'm going to know everything that you do. And I said, by the way, don't think I don't know that you're not having sex with my daughter.
Come on, I'm not stupid.
And he looks at me, and he thought he was Mr. Cocky. Yeah. He goes, I tagged that. I said, excuse me?
Oh, I'd have slapped him in his mouth. I would have slapped him in his motherfucking mouth.
I got up, and my man was with me, and he's sitting on the couch, and he goes to grab me. I said, oh, no. I pulled out a chair. I pushed his butt into it. I said, listen to me, son. I said, we're going to start with, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and I'm sorry, ma'am. And if I ever hear you talk about my daughter in that way again, I said, they'll be looking for you.
You'll definitely like the first verse. Just with that being said right there, you'll definitely like the first verse of that song by Haystack.
But no, they're married.
Oh, wow.
They are married. And over the course of time, you know, it's like, I think it was like the first week of her actually bringing him around and stuff. And after this announcement, he started calling me mom and everything else. And I said, that's fine. I said, because you remember, I'm like a mafia mom. I said, I am like a mafia mom, sweetheart. I said, you can call me mom. I said, just know that every move you make, every thought that goes through your head, I've been there.
I've already played it. I've already been down there. So just fucking remember that shit. Don't try to pull one over on me. Checkmate. Just like your daughter's checkmate. Good job, man. Just like your daughter's first boyfriend. When you asked him, are you planning on having sex with my daughter? And he said, no. He should have just said, yeah, I'm planning on having sex with your daughter. I'd have more respect for a little motherfucker than that.
Exactly.
Straight up. You know? But my reaction, my daughter's boyfriend said that to me, or my daughter's boyfriend said that to me, like, I will slap him in his mouth. You don't ever like I already don't like the idea and the knowledge that you are having intercourse with my child, with my precious daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you're 25, whether you're 40, or whether you're 80, I don't give a fuck. I know it's gonna happen. I don't need to hear you reference to my precious daughter in that manner. Period.
Oh, and I love it though, because he did, my daughter finally did bring him around to meet the grandparents and everything. And he was, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. And my father looks at me and I said, oh, I already had talk with him. He goes, I can see that.
Hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not playing. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to give it about another 10 minutes, but I'm going to cover this real quick, since that's what the title of this is. I think this country really needs to focus on how we're raising our children, what we're letting our children be subjected to, and what we're really protecting when it comes down to it. By not saying words like sexually abused, pedophile, pedo, and so on, we are taking the severity of why that word was given that definition in the first place. That meaning of that word, sexually abused, we're taking the seriousness of that and we're dumbing it down. We're taking the severity of it away. And at the same time we're doing that, we're damaging our children to make them more than likely become a victim of being sexually abused. Why?
And the word grooming, because
Yeah.
that is exactly what is happening on a daily basis, all day
It's
long.
happening right now.
Exactly.
I mean, we've been at this for going on an hour and 45 minutes. And in that amount of time, there was roughly 45 innocent children sexually violated in the hour and 43 minutes that we've been on this live.
Now, if you really want to get into your head, break that down and ask yourself the question, were any of those children in your neighborhood? Were any of those children down your street? Were any of those children in school with your kid today?
Better yet. Don't ask yourself ask yourself what child was it that is friends with your children. Ask what child was it what child was it? Not, you know what I mean? Like, it's happening.
Exactly.
All the time, every day, multiple times a day. And that's a fucked up world we live in. I don't like being a part of it. If you're not part of the problem, I'm getting all cliched here tonight, dude. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So,
and we need to be the solution, be the voice, scream it out there.
You know, and since we're right there on this, I'm gonna say this, and I don't want anybody to take this personal right now, but this has been a great live between you and I and the two other people that are watching this, and the two other people that have came and left. All I can say is this is the worst numbers I've had since I started doing this, and that breaks my heart. Because
and you know
more people, yeah, I do know why. You want to tell them, or should I tell them?
Because everybody right now on these streets of YouTube is dealing with ridiculous, unimportant little bashing between each other, name calling and calling people out instead of dealing with real issues. And this is the most real issue that can be out there.
Just like Sugar Glider just shouted out in the back. Drama sells.
Exactly. So you're either afraid to come in and hear the truth and deal with what really needs to be dealt with, or you're just one of those little sheep that can't think for yourself and think that drama it's not. You can sit there and watch that drama and listen to that BS, and where is it getting anyone? When you take a child who right now, and that's a horrible thought, right now could be being sexually abused.
No, right now, a child is being sexually abused.
And what
Right
they're
now,
doing,
right now,
yes, right now a child is being sexually abused, and they're watching people have little hissy fits against each other like little high schoolers and acting like they're in little cliques and taking honest, real life crime
I appreciate it,
and
Sunshine.
shoving it under the rug.
Yep. And like I said many times, and you can go back and look at my other videos all you want to. It's in there many times. I don't give a fuck about how many people are here and how many people I got in my community. I could drop down to no subscribers and I'm still gonna fucking do this. It's not about that to me. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would love to have, let's say, Nicolina numbers and Ernie Shell numbers and the Stands numbers and so many other channels numbers like that. I would love to have those numbers, but only because I would know I'm reaching that many more people. Not because it's filling my fucking pocketbooks. Not because I'm getting paid. Not because of any popularity fucking contest. None of that shit. Because this piece of shit right here, this just a nobody, remember that. This just a nobody, I care about all the kids in this fucking world, man. All of them. Yours, mine, every child in this world deserves to be cared about like I care about them. Call me fucking obsessed with this shit all you want. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. I am passionate about this shit. I am obsessed with this shit. And until it stops, I don't give a fuck if I got one person in here watching me or no people in here watching me or 100 million people in here watching me. I don't give a shit. I don't. Take that shit to the fucking bank. You guys are more obsessed with what's going on with fucking these other creators over stupid shit. And now we're coming up on 2 hours. We're coming up on 60 children in this last 2 hours that had their fucking innocence taken from them from go, man. 60 more children in 2 hours. Done. Innocence gone. Destroyed. And you guys are over here bickering about who said this, about what, about that, and this and that. Fuck all that shit, man.
Right. And that's one of our biggest problems. And I'm trying to help you reach those people, but real people, real honest people who don't look at this as a fad. Oh, I'm just going to jump on this for a while. No. When you come and listen and be a part of this, if you don't feel something and feel rage and anger and want it
sorrow
to stop,
and
then you shouldn't be here.
Nope, you shouldn't. Because obviously you have a perfect life. Nothing's ever gone wrong for you. You're perfect. And so fuck you then.
Obviously, there's a bubble that surrounds you that, you know, everything is sunshine and rainbows. Good for you. But the hard facts are children, adults, male, female, it doesn't make a difference, are being raped, are being, I hate to say it online again, raped, sodomized, abused. Their life is being taken. Maybe they're not unalived, but their life is taken. And that can't be replaced. But a voice from everyone can make it more obvious that we're not taking it. And no, we see you. Just like you think we don't see you in those crowds of people. You don't think we see what you're doing or what's going on behind those eyes that we can see. And we're going to call you out.
I can fucking smell you, motherfucker, so you can't even fucking hide from me in that aspect.
So yeah. Thank you, Sunshine and Moonbeams, for being here. You're amazing.
Absolutely. And this is not anybody taking any shots at anybody. This is not about having a grudge with a certain person or being aligned with a certain person or creator. That's not what this is about. This is about the bigger picture that's bigger than you, that's bigger than me. And that's protecting children, man.
Exactly.
And the only people that will fully what's the word I'm looking for? Baby, my mind went blank. Fully understand, I guess you could say, how I'm passionate about this is somebody who's had that innocence ripped away from them from go. And it's not fair. And it fucking kills me to know that we're at 52 newly created children who became sexually abused victims during this hour and 52 minutes on this live. 54 children have now had their innocence taken, and you guys want to go bitch and complain and fucking call each other out on stupid shit. In the grand scheme of things, it's stupid shit. I understand it sucks having people fucking say shit about you. Imagine how I felt for a minute when somebody just tried to insinuate that I was a fucking pedophile. Motherfucker, I will are you you know what I mean? Are you fucking kidding me? And I'm not innocent. I had my fucking fair share of fucking getting back. I lost what get to know was about in the battle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, in the confrontation. I lost that. And I didn't come here to win popularity contests. I didn't come here to have anybody to like me or not like me. I came here to make a change in this world for the better before my measly little ass dies. So I could feel better about myself and knowing that I did something good while I was fucking here and not worried about what somebody else may or may have said or not said or it's time for America and people around the world to pull their fucking heads out of their fucking asses.
And that's what social media should be about. Awareness. Helping. Putting your pettiness aside. It doesn't make a difference if you don't like this person or that person, because it's not about this person or that person. And if none of this has ever happened to you, consider yourself blessed. And I hope to God it's never happened to a lot of people and their families. But if it doesn't touch you directly, don't think it's not touching you directly.
Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. Sugar Glider just said, I like how she said that. That was perfect, Opa's Angel. That was perfect. Now to do the shameless plug, I'm recently signed up for Twitter for Kick, K-I-C-K, not the pervy one, K-I-K, K-I-C-K. Rumble, Discord. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with Discord or not. I got my reservations about it. I've heard some things, and they're not really all that kosher of a platform as some would think or they want you to believe. So I'm not sure how long I'll be sticking with Discord, but I am there. You have to look up my real name, so I'm not going to give that out, even though if you've followed me for any amount of time, you can figure out who I am on Facebook. And I have a group on Facebook. It's called Get to Know _stop. You have to ask to join it. I'm also on Facebook, like I said, Instagram, Kick, Rumble, Discord, and you're going to be seeing more of my face because I'm not going to stop. I can't. Because somebody's child who is not mine, whom I will never meet or even know about in my entire fucking vain existence in this world, and however many years it will be that I will be here, I will never know this person, never hear their story. It's because I don't want that person to have to go through that shit. It's wrong in every way you could put it.
Well, I'm going to keep sharing you out, and I'm going to keep gathering information and putting up small videos and going to hashtag your channel with it. So, if somebody sees something or feels something and they want to be able to come on your show and
Absolutely.
release what's going on with them.
And let's make sure everybody knows too that you don't, as long as I can see your face one time, you don't ever have to show. I will never show your face publicly on my channel if you want to come tell your story and create more awareness about how bad it's gone in this country and around the world, and you don't want to show your face, so be it. It's not a face that's gonna, oh, that's good. Let's change the face of pedophilia by being the voice against pedophilia.
Exactly.
And Opus Angel, this is exclusively for you. The other person I gave this permission to, they know who they are. You have permission to clip the shit out of anything you want off my channel, Opus Angel, and put it in any video you want to, 100%. Anytime you want. You don't even need to ask me to do it. You don't even need to tag me in it. You don't need my permission. You have it already.
Thank you. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either. But I'm just saying, if you figure it out and you want to, if you want to use anything from my channel or this channel in anything of yours, you have permission to do it. 100% permission to do it. So it don't matter to me. I just know I know what type of person you are, and I know that I can trust you. And there's going to be some changes coming to get to know. There are already some of them have already come into effect that some people haven't realized yet. I think it's funny. I wonder how long it's going to take for everybody to realize how many changes have been made. But we got some big changes coming. I recently was put in contact with somebody who has the capabilities of being able to expand the idea and the image and the channel of Get to Know on different platforms. And they have a knack with helping channels grow. So to them, I'm not going to throw your name out there until I know it's okay. I appreciate it. This person
Sunshine Moonbeam said she knows how she can help.
Oh yeah, how is that, Sunshine and Moonbeams? Because you guys know I'm always open for suggestions, any way it's possible, man. Any way possible. The only way not to help is to not by doing anything, man.
But I'm gonna jump down.
Okay.
And again, I don't feel like half the time I'm wearing my silly jammies anyway. So
hey, you know me. You know I'm still looking for my pants, man.
Last time I heard they were in Scotland.
That's crazy. That's the fucking last I heard they were in Scotland, man. If anybody's got an update on my pants, please leave a comment. Please let me know. I am desperately seeking the location of my pants. Please help me find my pants.
Oh, she knows how to clip.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, that's great. So you can do it if you want to. Sunshine and Moonbeams. I don't know how you run. I know that you follow me on another platform as well. Clip it and get it out there. Put this handsome face all over the place.
Love you guys. You're awesome, Sugar Glider. If I got that name right, I'm so terrible with names.
Yep.
Sugar it's a blonde moment.
Yeah, you know, we all have them, even if we're not blonde.
You guys have a great night.
Love ya.
You too. Sugar Glider says love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Good night, Opa. Said we just hit 2 hours. So remember this. In these 2 hours, 60 children's innocence have been taken away from them. Let that sink in. This is Get to Know. This is where we stand up and make our voices heard to pedophilia. It's not okay. As long as I'm breathing, it'll never become a normalized behavior. I will die screaming, save a child, protect a child. This is wrong. Please like it, subscribe. I'm pointing up here because I'm hoping some way magically somebody will be able to put a subscribe right here and a like right here when I point. That would be cool. You know what I mean? Like and subscribe. Even if you don't like it, somebody put a thumbs down on here too, because I don't care if you like it or don't like it. Click that button. Help spread the word of pedophilia, because it's wrong. It's wrong. I hope everybody has a good day. I hope everybody had a good day. I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. Remember, every day that we're here, we are blessed because we are here. Let's make a difference in this world for the positive. Let's make this world a better place for you and me. One child is one too many. We object to bullshit. I always got to try to give a shout out to Rose. We object to bullshit. You know what I mean? One child is one too many. And hey, do me a favor. Tell your friends about me, because they're going to want to know. Oh, and to my UK friends, I'm not saying fuck off.